Thank you for tuning in to LezView, the informative media where we talk about the hot topics and not so hot topics, but always guaranteed to give you all the greatest news. We're back again today with something that's really, really important and also extremely exciting. My name is Monica Ray, and I'm your host, along with the rest of the beautiful hosts that we have on the panel today, Cheyenne, Dana, and Jack. And today we're going to be talking about an icon, a legend, a woman that many of us have known for many, many years. We've dreamed about her. We've talked about her. Yes. We've wanted to be her. I actually wanted that afro. Really, really bad. But instead I got lost, but that's okay. But we're here today talking about the phenomenal and beautiful Pam Grier as she talks about her book, her new book, My Life in 3 Acts. And so we are just honored, and it's such a pleasure for her to be with us today and to have everyone be able to view in and hear more of that today. So, I don't know about you all, but I'm feeling really comfy on this here set. How y'all like this?
Like I did? You
this
like
looks
I
like
did?
really like new and stuff for us, right?
It's very comfortable.
You like it?
It's very great.
And I think those
I'm going to take it home.
Well, I don't know if we could take it home.
We can't take it home.
I don't think so. But
We can rent
I can
it.
tell you where we can get it from.
Rent a center.
Rent-A Center. We want to thank Rent-A Center, definitely a sponsor, for making this set happen because, you know, we had to have the best
That's right.
from Miss Foxy Brown.
Absolutely.
But without any further ado, we want to make sure that we go ahead and get this thing started with this icon, this legend. So coming to the stage now for the very first time here on LezView, our very own Pam Grier. Oh my goodness, I can't
Well,
believe
look,
it.
you're all dressed. Oh. You look like new money.
We had to for you. We had
Yes.
to for you.
Well, that's, I'm honored. Thank you for your invitation.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much for coming and being a part of this for us today here in North Carolina, the place that you were born.
Yes, yes.
Little ways over,
Winston-Salem.
but, yeah.
Winston- But it was interesting. Last night I had so much family.
Oh,
At least 30 people
wow.
showed up. Babysitters, people, cousins. It was just great. It was all home. It's like a letter from home.
Wow.
You know, so yeah, but you know, it was great. I'm probably related to half of you in here today.
Well, you know, I tell you, we're here talking about your new book, and it's such a beautiful book, and we're so grateful to have the opportunity to talk about it with you today, My Life in 3 Acts. So why now? Why the memoir now?
Well, the way I live, I may not be here tomorrow. You know, you know, there were so many women ahead of me, open doors for me, for all of us, and like Lena Horne, they had written about their trials, their tribulations, their triumphs, their lessons learned. I call them falls and crawls, and I felt, as much as I've been given, all the experiences I've had in my life, politically, religiously, from my career, that I have a lot to share. We have to pass around. You have knowledge, you have information, you share it with others, especially the upcoming women who are finding that independence is in abundance. You just have to empower yourself. It's there. Don't give it up. I mean, we've been divided. There's been division, and when you divide, you're conquered. You lose your rights. You lose leverage in the political platform. And we women need to continue with their inspiration, their intuitive, and when it comes to owning themselves, owning their bodies, owning what happens. You know, the debates are so varied. It's just amazing. So I just thought, empowerment, if I get anything, share it.
Thank you.
And so
Thank
that's
you.
why everything that I felt would empower, inspire, and create laughter. When Richard Pryor's horse was injured, I put him in the back seat of my Jag.
That's right. He pissed on the seat.
She did later when we got back to the house. And Richard realized he could trust me. He could really trust me because he said, how come you won't move in with me? All the other women want to. How come you don't want diamonds and fur coats? All the other women won't. And when I put the horse in the backseat of the Jag, knowing that the Jag's going to be destroyed,
Absolutely.
but I'm going to save a life.
That's right.
It's about saving a life. Women do that. We're nurturers. The yin and the yang. Men start wars,
Absolutely.
and we nurture. There's a we're two different beasts. And when I did that for him, and we saved that horse. He knew that I didn't want anything. I said, I just want you. I don't want to bring you drugs. I'm not an enabler. I'm not a nurse. I'm your truth serum. And from North Carolina to Colorado, that's what we do.
Yes.
And to help our executive office, our president, let him know we're here to help him in the nurturing, getting this country in a healthy state, mentally,
Absolutely.
financially. We can make a dime scream. We can show them how to run a budget. Can we not? So there's, so that's what Foxy, My Life in 3X is. And I tried to, structure it so it would be not just a meandering legacy where you go, okay, I'll start this tomorrow, but something, it's an act like a play, like a movie. A screenplay is a first, second, or third act, and has a beginning, a middle, and then an epilogue. So.
Well, Ms. Grier, absolutely. I mean, I want to thank you. You're so profound to all of us, and I want to thank you for allowing us to meet the person behind the legend.
Thank you.
I think
Welcome.
your book has definitely, connected with me on quite a few levels. I know how it feels to be a child growing up and, have a certain look on life, and then to have your world shaken, as you mentioned in the book, without, not having your choices respected, not having your wishes. And I think that there's so many of us who've been through that situation of having to deal with abuse, having to deal with those issues, whether or not we actually, share or to tell, being afraid to tell, being afraid to have healthy relationships going forward. I think that, just the way in which you express that experience in your book, I mean, I could totally connect to that. But did you ever feel any sense of a little resentment or just, unprotected within your family environment?
Well, I would feel abandonment, but there's so many other kids around. At times you don't have time to feel abandoned because there's other children, there was other relatives, and when you have a lot of children, I don't know if it's fair. It's not up to me to make that judgment, to have 6 kids or 2 children. But you know what it's like dividing your time just with you and your spouse. Now with 1 child or 2 children or 3, and my mom was taking care of her sister's children. So there were 6 kids, and there were 3 more cousins. There were 9 kids and adults every Friday for Fish Friday. And we were, so it was a lot of people. And always a child is a little bit more aggressive than the others, and they don't notice. And I was traumatized, but I became more silent, very quiet, very introverted, which wasn't, and they would say it's a phase. And they're not psychologists, as we know today, as we've examined behavior, child behavior, relationship behavior. We know more today than we did. We're talking 54 years ago. I'm 60, and I don't, I don't, as we say, define myself by my age, but by my energy. So I don't really have this whatever 60 is. I just live my life, but from that, not everyone gets that opportunity because, as you say, some people are so impaired from it, they can't move on. And I was fortunate. I have lifelines of people. Try to get me to Girl Scouts. My mom took me to Equestrian Center to get riding lessons, and they said we could clean the stalls, and I couldn't ride. And I wanted to study ballet, and because I used to use the window ledge as my bar as a little girl, I wanted to, I was always walking around like this, and I couldn't do that. So I found myself being more and more silent because of racism and classism and elitism, and so today I look back, I always wonder, there's others who've suffered even more. How do they do it? And hopefully we have the therapists and the counseling. That's why in the book I would see behavior being passed on for generation to generation to generation. We can stop it. We can stop the madness. We really can, and that's why I engage women to be a participant, speak up. Oh no, something's wrong. And this we cannot destroy. We need every person. Why destroy a life? I was lucky. I was lucky that I didn't suffer, and I was able to relatively have a comfortable, sane life. But I think I hide in roles in acting. Not everyone can do that.